Welcome to the Dealmakers Podcast, sponsored by Dealmakers Institute. This podcast is dedicated to exploring and uncovering exciting deal-making truths with those who are making it happen every day. You'll discover ways to leverage and profit from every aspect of the deal-making pipeline, from acquisition to exit. And now, the founder of Ribbon Equity and one of the leaders at Dealmakers Institute, your host, Ben Lijan.
Hello, welcome to the Dealmakers Podcast. I'm your host, Ben Lijan, and I have the esteemed pleasure to have Woodly Oralus as one of our guests today. And Woodly is a frontier in digital marketing space. He scaled and grew a successful business. Here we have Woodly. And Woodly, can you please give our audience an overview about yourself?
Okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Woodly Oralus, founder CEO of BizNet. It's a full-service internet marketing agency based currently downtown Ocala, Florida. We do everywhere from the ads you see right on social media to website development, video production, going out, capturing the essence of what a business is all about. We provide businesses with a comprehensive solution to continue to grow their brands, and we could be anywhere from a small component of their marketing outsourced to their entirely outsourced marketing department. Me, myself, I'm not gonna go too far back. You don't need to know when I was playing in the sandbox or stuff like that, but I am a two-time graduate of Florida A&M University. I hold 2 degrees from there. The highest is Master's in Business Administration, concentration in Marketing Management. I had this theme of going into corporate America right after graduation, fall of 2017, and I went into a corporate sales job and learned the whole sales process, B2C sales to B2B sales. I learned how to interact with individuals, refine my skill set, interpersonal skills, and I became one of the best in the company. I was able to elevate to being the top 3% within the company in B2B sales when I worked for Enterprise Truck Rental. That allowed me to really hone in on what was I really good at. Every time after work, I would go off and study. Internet marketing intrigued me. I saw that there was a shift in the way individuals were interacting, and digital was the way to go. So I wanted to make sure I was on that wave. So once I identified that, I really doubled down and studied. I studied from a lot of the great gurus out there like Ty Lopez, Billy Genius Marketing, Sam Ovens, Grant Cardone, the list goes on and on. And it provided me with the skill set that I did not acquire through institutionalized education when I was at Florida A&M University. As coupled with that and the sales background that I achieved in corporate, I was able to really hone in on how to build a business. And the biggest thing I would say would be building these relationships and going for it, taking massive action.
That's great. And one of the things you just spoke about is you noticed the change from traditional marketing to digital marketing, and you went out to actively search for the knowledge, the information. So at what point did you take the information to actually apply it to, let's say, a first prototype?
So I started the first year after I started the business, kind of sat on the LLC, really focused on being an asset to the company that I worked for. So I really focused on studying. So I studied my craft, honed my craft. And the second year, after I got the LLC, I knew that I didn't want to stay in corporate America for the rest of my life. So when I identified that, I was great at my job, but I knew there was more for me out there. I knew that there was a bigger calling on my life. So I stepped out. I would on my lunch break, which was an hour, I would go do account visits where I would go out to local businesses. I had got some business cards developed, passed them out, told them what I did, and told them about the services that we can help them with. I would research, does this company have a presence online? Whether that was social media, were they ranking high on SEO? What was this company lacking? And when I looked at those different things, I went after companies that could definitely utilize the services that we offer. And as I continued to touch base with more and more people, I realized that it's simply a time thing. So if I'm giving all my time to this job, I wouldn't have the time and the ability to scale the business how I would like to. And what was a defining moment in really making that shift was I did that for months and months, doing a day off here and an hour lunch there, meeting over individuals. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take some paid time off and I'm gonna see how it feels to be a full-time entrepreneur. So they're going on vacation. I hit the market and hit it strong. We became a member of the local Chamber of Commerce here locally, and I went to all the events they had that week. And the business grew exponentially past the point that when I was doing it in a part-time nature in those 4 or 5 days.
Wow.
And when we saw that growth, the company that month was able to generate more revenue in that single month than I made at my job. So when I saw the trend of where the business was going and what the potential where it could do, I was like, hey, I need to take a leap of faith. I had some money saved and I was like, this is what I want to do. I'm passionate about it and I'm going to go for it. So it's been a little over a year since I left corporate as a full-time employee and took that leap. And it's been trying, but it's been well worth it.
Absolutely. And as you gain traction, what are some of the industries or client segments that you see that has a tremendous exposure to traditional marketing media and that are poised to either be disrupted or can advance with the use of digital media?
So all of them can use digital marketing and media in order to enhance their businesses. Especially, it was more self-evident when COVID-19 ran rampant.
Absolutely.
There was a lot of closures and a lot of businesses were like, I'm not getting foot traffic into the door. How can I get individuals to book appointments and come still utilize the services and products that we offer? When these businesses were scrambling, they started identifying creative means. How can I continue to generate revenue and keep what I set out to do, the dream I had to start this business and provide this service and solve the problems of the people? How can I keep this going? I know COVID-19 is out of my control, but what can I do? So we thought critically and thought about what can we do to help them? How can we continue to keep them on the mind of the consumer, position them when we came out of lockdown that they could feel safe utilizing the services, such as a medical spa that we work with here locally. We did a whole video skit on how they were using healthy and safe business cleaning practices to make sure that the individual could visually see that they were actively washing their hands, utilizing the proper PPE, such as gloves, glasses, and the proper medical wear in order to make sure that those individuals were safe when they came in to utilize the services that they offer. We also saw that the individuals that didn't stop, those are the individuals that exploded in growth, or they were able to continue to maintain and not see a drastic drop or close their doors and go out of business.
Absolutely. And as we explore growth and traction and other things of that nature, there has to be some sort of infrastructure set in place to sustain the growth. So based off your company and the companies that you advise, what's some of the infrastructures that you would like to see before the marketing services are implemented?
So I want to make sure that they have the staffing and personnel in order to handle the influx of clientele, that they have a proper call of command in terms of delegation of tasks and tasks and duties, that they have a strong culture, that they have camaraderie amongst each other, that they'll be able to provide the services to the customers to the point that they would want to continue to come and become repeat customers.
Absolutely. And I think especially with the infrastructure, having a solid infrastructure in place is, in my experiences, in my business, is a key to sustain growth and even growth after the initial engagement period. So in marketing and business as a whole, there's KPIs that your clients, I'm sure, would like to see. So what are some of the key KPIs that you either promote or discover throughout the marketing process?
So some key performance indicators that we look at, we utilize a lot of data analytics software, such as Facebook. When we're running ads, they provide us, when we place pixels on the websites and landing pages that we use, they provide us with immense amount of data, such as age range, demographic, whether it's male, female, these different things, so we can really key in on who are the customers that are buying those services or products from that respective client of ours. When we are able to focus on who is buying, we can reallocate the dollars, the advertisement dollars that are being spent, more towards the individuals that are more apt to buy, instead of spending money on individuals that would care less about what this business had to offer. So when we reallocate the budget towards these individuals, then we can generate a more traction and more traffic to that business. Also looking at the cost of acquiring a customer. How many marketing dollars has to be spent by this particular customer in order to get one client? Whether what service we're advertising, we look at how much is that ticket item. Is it a mid-tier, is it low tier, is it high tier? How many, based off the advertisement dollars that we have out there, how many of these services can we help this client sell in order to justify the expense that they're spending with us on a monthly basis?
And let's stay on the topic for a while. I want to digest and understand some of the key things that you mentioned. So for our audience, what is the direct correlation between advertisement dollars spent to return on investment?
So typically a good return on investment is whenever you can make $1, $2, or $1.50 at the lowest. When you're able to see that your dollars are directly multiplying. So if you're spending $1,500 a month in advertisement, you want to make sure you get $3,000, $4,500, $6,000 return on your investment. When you're able to see those direct correlations in terms of dollars spent to ROI, then the customer can be happy with the services that you're providing. A lot of companies get lost in the glitz and glamour. It may be a really attractive video, which we provide exceptional video, but at the end of the day, it's about the dollars that the company is generating, because if they're not able to generate an ROI, then their money is being wasted. It does help build brand presence and awareness, and helps you solidify that level of prestige in the mind of the consumer. But the business has to continue to generate net profit in order to justify their expense, or they'll continue to lose money, and it's a bad business decision on that point.
Absolutely. And I think with that being said, right, as a founder of a marketing company, how do you make sure that you're staying on top of the competition to both increase your market share and to continue to provide the quality services that you do?
The biggest thing I would say is, being a person, being an approachable person, providing that soft touch, a humanistic touch. Because at the end of the day, people do business with people they like, trust, and they know they can drive the results. When that person, all things being the same, there's maybe other individual out there that can provide a service that is of quality, and the person would still get a return on their investment. But when you're able to build those solid relationships, that the client sees that you actually care about what they have going on, that you want to drive their business forward, and that makes it the more worth it for that particular client to do business with you, as opposed to somebody that doesn't care. It's very hands-off. Hey, here's your report. This is how much you pay. Bye, have a nice day. So when you're able to establish that relationship, some clients, the relationship doesn't matter to them, as long as they're making money. But you want to make sure that you let that client know that they're more than just dollars in your bank account.
Great. And so as a founder, let's stay in this mode a little bit longer. So when you're looking to grow market share, there's of course organic growth. There's attracting clients through word of mouth. And then I wanted to dive deeper into what we do at Ribbon Equity is specialize in business acquisitions and growing through mergers and acquisitions. So what are your viewpoints on mergers and acquisitions and identifying or prospecting growth through those avenues?
So I've been approached several times from several other business marketing agencies to merge or be acquired, and you have to really look at who's the individual that's acting, their culture, and what's the whole underlining initiative behind it. When it's a healthy relationship between the two companies and it's a seamless, then it can help overall growth. But you don't want to sacrifice morals or ethics just to grow a little faster. When you're looking to forge partnerships, so being a smaller business, instead of acquiring at the beginning, I was able to acquire skill sets from individuals through subcontracting. So when you're acquiring that skill set, that person has a specialty, something that they're really great at. So when you're at the beginning, you could do projects, and then grow up to different retainers that you have those different freelancers on that will allow you to provide that big fill to the client in terms of the caliber of service that you're delivering to them. In terms of, you definitely, when it comes to acquisitions, you want to make sure that it's going to be mutually beneficial, and that if you're going to merge with a company, it has to be massive growth where you still be able to see some of your vision come to life, if you're okay with it. Or if it's a substantial amount, you would have to make that ultimate decision if you would be willing to walk away for X amount of dollars.
That's great. And as we continue talking about scaling and growing, we talked about growing organically. We talked about business acquisitions and overall providing great service. Let's talk about the next 5 years for your company. What type of plans, or better yet, every company has a plan of growth,
right.
Plan to scale up, plan to acquire more market share. at a high level, walk me through your methodologies and kind of mindset of growing. I know you recently branched out to Texas, so
Yes.
congratulations.
Thank you.
So walk me through more of those mindsets via acquisitions or organic partnerships or anything like that.
So before branching out or doing anything like that, we wanted to make sure we established a strong proof of concept that the services that we offered actually worked. And then we built the amount of case studies and had those different individuals that saw that the service we provided drove results for them. So when you take that and you're going into a different market, you have something that somebody can see and almost feel, about what your company can do for them. So especially when you're pitching somebody in the similar industry. If you're pitching a chiropractic office, if you've shown that you drove results for chiropractors in the past, then they can see that your business can drive results for them as well. So in terms of growing over time for BizNet, this whole thing was kind of structured out to the end. So we started off in the most cost-effective way in order to start generating revenue, provide excellent service, and continue to move. We're currently still in phase 1, and we're going to start transitioning into phase 2 and phase 3 next year. So phase 1 is more hands-on services being provided to customers, but we're going even more digital when we're getting to phase 2 and 3. And that's providing individuals with ability to learn through our platforms and provide them with services where it's more interactive, where they can get their staff involved and have their staff do some stuff where they can continue to drive results and have somebody on their team that can be a liaison for us as well.
Absolutely. Well, this has been another great episode of the Deal Makers podcast with Woodly. Woodly, where can our audience find you?
Oh, you can find me at W_ORALUS, my personal account, or all platforms the same. You can find us at BIZNCT. That's BizNet for all social media handles. Or if you're ever looking for any internet marketing services, you can find us at www.biznet.com, and we'll love to take care of you.
And again, I'm your host, Bentley Jean, and we look forward to seeing you on the next show.
Thank you for listening to the Deal Makers podcast. We hope you enjoyed diving deeper into our guest story and insights on deal making with our host, Bentley Jean. Right now, there is a tremendous opportunity in the mergers and acquisition space for small and medium-sized enterprises, as it is estimated that in the next 20 years, over $10 trillion will be transferred or lost. To learn more on how to capitalize on this opportunity, visit dealmakersinstitute.com or maspecialist.com.